What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today we'll be doing a Gemini Jets / NG Models unboxing. You guys can see the two aircrafts in front of us, but I am going to get into more detail with them, of course. If you guys do end up liking this video, I would ask that you consider subscribing to the channel because it does really help support me, but we will dive straight into it. I did want to start off with the Southwest aircraft, as you can see here, and then we'll save the Hawaiian aircraft for later on in the video. I am going to go over the box just briefly because obviously this is the white box, which is not typical on Gemini Jets. They only do that for Southwest for some reason. But here's the logo, of course, and then here's the computer generated picture. This is Lone Star One for Southwest Airlines. You can see it has a new tail, and it does say Southwest down there, Boeing 737-700. I don't think they put the livery anywhere on here because this just talks about the aircraft, and then this just gives more details like the item number and kind of the registration you can see up there. But they do not give any information about what the aircraft is or like what the paint scheme is. But we'll get straight into the unboxing of the aircraft. Just pull this off, and there is the aircraft. I haven't opened it yet. As you can see, it's still sealed and all that good stuff. So if it is broken, that's unfortunate, but it is not. So yay. So here's the aircraft, and we'll get straight into the unboxing. As you may or may not be able to tell, I have done the concrete squares on my model airport, which means there will be a second episode of building Denver International Airport. I am hoping that'll be next Tuesday, but there is still a bunch of work to be done on the airport, so I guess we'll have to see. I am planning on doing the whole thing in at least 3, maybe 2 episodes, I'm not really sure. But we'll get straight into the review here. Starting off at the front, of course, we do have our nose cone, the dark blue that starts off the actual Lone Star part. Then it actually does say Lone Star on the aircraft with the cockpit windows. There is the first or front landing gear, and then the L1 boarding door. Then moving further along, we do actually have the star right here with the dark blue, and you can see it kind of goes onto the engine as well. I do really like that. Of course, we just have the normal gray winglets. I'm kind of shifting forward, but just the normal gray winglets. Because on their special liveries, they do not put southwest.com. Moving further, of course, this is all economy seats, but then we get to the over-wing exits. 2 on each side, 2 in the front, and 2 in the back. We do have a few beacon lights on the top, right there and up there. We do have our middle antenna. Whoops, this aircraft's a little tail heavy, like most 700s are, really. Then we do have the Wi-Fi box, and then the red and white kind of shifting towards the back of the aircraft. We do have the registration, which is almost impossible to read with the gray on top of the white. But there is the back door as well. Then we have the American flag with the Southwest logo on the tail. Of course, this is the tail they use on all of their special liveries, which is very neat. We do have metal horizontal stabilizers as well as the APU towards the back. As I did mention, it is very tail heavy. But it will stay up by itself, but you know, still tail heavy. We'll get on to the bottom and top of the aircraft. There is a quick view of the squares before I show you the aircraft. They resemble the concrete squares found on almost every airport in the world. But here's the bottom of the aircraft. It is nothing too special, of course. You just have the landing gear. You can see the flaps and slats, I believe is what it's called. Then you do have the Gemini Jets logo, kind of like right there, and the blue and red horizontal stabilizers. We do have a little bit of flap detail, not a lot. But yeah, this is the bottom of the aircraft. It's very hard to get a good angle of this, but you can see the top of the aircraft here with the 2 beacon lights. the antennas, the Wi-Fi box, and as well as the overwing exit and wing detail. Moving on to our next aircraft, which is by NG Models, and it is the Hawaiian Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. This box art is absolutely astonishing, and I cannot stress enough how happy I am that NG Models does box art as well, unlike Gemini Jets. But here we do have the titles. I'm just going to go over the box really quickly. It says Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. Then we have some flowers here all over the box, different colors. That's what I really like about it. Then we have the computer-generated aircraft, of course, and the Hawaiian logo with some more flowers, and the NG Models logo at the bottom, as this is by NG Models, of course. The sides are pretty generic. You should have your barcode, NG Models, Hawaiian 787-9 computer-generated aircraft. Then we have the Hawaiian Airlines logo with the titles and their logo once again. Now we will zoom out and get into the unboxing. NG's boxes are a little different than that of Gemini Jets. You can see here, you do have the foam. It's actually like hard to take off a little bit without breaking it. And then I guess I'll grab it by the tail, but whoa. There is the aircraft. It is not broken, thankfully, but we will get straight into the review. Starting us off at the front of our aircraft, we do have the nose cone, of course. And something I really do like about the 787 is kind of the slant on the nose of the aircraft, how it goes like straight down. They also have that on the E175. That's something I really like. Of course, this is the Hawaiian 787-9 Dreamliner, so it hasn't actually begun service yet, but they did purchase them and are painting them and all that good stuff. Next, we have the L1 boarding door with the first landing gear. Then we do have the Hawaiian titles. I would guess this would be used on more international routes, maybe a few domestic, but I would mainly think it'd be used on international and domestic. But up here we do have the first class seats, of course, and our first antenna. Then we have the L2 boarding door. This would be for like premium economy and economy. It also does start the lay going across the body of the aircraft. I'll zoom in just a tad here so we can get some more detail. The lay going across the aircraft, as I did mention, and then the Euro white engines and the wings. There is some sort of gloss, as you can see on the wings, because you can see the reflection. Something I do admire about NG's wings for the 787 is they're not so swooped like Gemini Jets. Like Gemini Jets is like 45-degree angle pretty much, and that's unrealistic. So NG is always keeping it realistic, which is something I do really like, of course. Moving further down, of course, the wheels do roll per usual. We do have the third door, and as you can see, I did forget to mention, but the engine cowling sort of back under there. Very good detail back there. Then moving further along, we have our third door as well as the Dreamliner logo. Then of course the American flag and the registration, which is almost impossible to read per usual once again. Then of course we do have a bunch of pretty flowers towards the back with two antennas towards the tail. A variety of different colors like bright pink and purple and darker purple towards the tail. Maybe even some dark blue sort of back here with the APU. The white horizontal stabilizers, very glossy like the tail. I mean the wings. And then the tail right here, of course, is the lady. If you know her name, please say it in the comments because I always forget, but I think it starts with the M. But she has the flower in her hair. Then, of course, it goes from like a dark purple and then faded up to a bright pink at the top, which is very beautiful. Here is a view from the front. We do have the cockpit windows and the nose cone, we do have the 2 engines over here. And as I was mentioning, you can kind of see the wing and how it's not so slanted like most of the Gemini Jets aircrafts are. It's pretty, maybe like a 10-degree slant instead of like 20, maybe 30 like Gemini Jets. But I really do like this aircraft and would rate it a 10 out of 10. We do have quite a bit of detail on the bottom. You can see we have the blue and purple into the bright and hot pink. Then we have the leg going across the bottom with the landing gear and the stand hole. I do believe Gemini Jets' stand hole does work with NG. I'm not entirely sure. But here we have the flaps, of course, and the slats, and our Euro white engines. Quite a bit of detail here on the wings crossing, you can see. And our front landing gear and the nose. So that is it for this. That does conclude this unboxing. We did unbox both the Hawaiian 787-9 Dreamliner and the Southwest Airlines 737-700 Lone Star One Livery. If you guys did enjoy, I would really appreciate if you left a like on the video before you go, as that helps push out the video to other people so they can see this content. And as always, I do appreciate all of you and all of your guys' support. It means so much. And I'm hoping you will really like Denver Airport once it is finished in the coming weeks. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully, and goodbye.